Don't be afraid of the terminal. When I started coding, the terminal scared me. Just a black screen that made no sense. But after earning my computer science degree and spending 6 years teaching, coding and building countless projects, I've learned one thing. It's the shortcut I use every day to get things done. Today I'll show you exactly what the terminal is, what the shell does and how to interact with it like a pro. At the end I'll share some simple yet powerful commands to supercharge your workflow even pros might not know. Let's dive right in. What is the terminal and why should you use it? First off, the terminal is a program that lets you interact with your computer using text commands instead of clicking around with a mouse. Think of it like a chat window where you tell your computer exactly what to do. Learning the terminal gives you faster, more precise control over your computer. Plus, it deepens your understanding of how your computer works, making you a smarter, more confident programmer. Now let's open the terminal. On Mac, press Command and space. Type in terminal and hit enter. Once it's open, you'll see something like this. That's your command prompt where you type commands. Now, if you're working inside Visual Studio Code, you don't have to keep switching back and forth between windows. It has a built-in terminal right inside the editor. To open it, press Ctrl and the backtick key, or go to the top menu and click View Terminal. This pops up a panel at the bottom of VS Code, and just like the Mac terminal, it starts your default shell, usually CSH or Bash on a Mac. The cool part is, anything you can do in the regular terminal, you can do it here too. Plus, you can have multiple terminals tabs open for different projects without leaving VS Code. And here's something important. The VS Code terminal isn't a special kind of terminal. It's just another terminal emulator, just like the one on your Mac. Both are simply windows that open a shell, and the shell is what actually runs your commands. What is a shell? Now, the terminal itself is just the interface. The real magic happens with the shell, which is a program that processes the commands you type and runs them. A shell is basically the middleman between you and your computer's operating system. When you type a command in the terminal like go to this folder or delete that directory, you're not actually talking to the computer directly. You're talking to the shell. The shell takes what you type, interprets it and tells the operating system what to do. The shell also takes the computer's responses and displays them to you in a way you can read. There are different types of shells, but the two most common on Mac are Bash and CSH. The default shell on newer macOS versions is CSH. It was introduced as the default shell in macOS Catalina and has since replaced Bash as a default. Now I'll show you how to change your default shell on your system. Check which shells are available. Type cat/etc/shells. This command lists all the shells installed on your system. You might see the paths like bin bash or bin csh. Choose the shell you want. To change it, type chsh space -s space and the path to the shell, for example /bin/bash. Finally, close your terminal and open it again to see the change take effect. And that's it. You've successfully changed your default shell. If you want to check which shell you're currently using, just type echo $shell. Let's learn how to move around your computer in the terminal. Print working directory. This shows you where you are right now in the file system. ls. This lists all the files and folders in your current directory. Change directory. This moves you into a folder. Type cd space ... to go back one level. The tilde is a shortcut that represents your home directory. On a Mac, your home directory is where all your personal files and folders live. You can just use tilde to quickly refer to this location. Now that you're comfortable moving around, let's learn how to create and manage files and folders right from the terminal. The command make directory creates a new folder wherever you are. For example, make directory my folder will create a folder named my folder. To create a new empty file on Mac or Linux, you can use touch space myfile.txt. If you want to delete a file, the command is rm space and the file name for remove. To delete an entire folder and everything inside it, use rm space -r space followed by the folder name. The -r stands for recursive, meaning it deletes the folder and all its contents. You can also use rmdir for deleting empty directories only. Sometimes you know a file exists somewhere on your system, but you can't remember exactly where you put it. Instead of clicking through dozens of folders, you can use the find command to locate it instantly. You can type in find, followed by the place where to search and a search criteria. To find a file in your current folder and all its subfolders, you can use find. The dot means start searching here, your current directory. And -name looks for a file with the exact name you type. If you're not sure about the capitalization, use -iname for a case-insensitive search. If you want to find only files ending with JPEG, you can use find, type, f, -name, and star.jpg. Here the star.jpg means anything ending in .jpg. And here is a pro tip. Find searches deeply, so it can take a while in big directories. Narrow it down when you can. Combine it with grep to find files containing specific text. For example, xargs grep and under quotation marks function. This searches all txt files for the word function. Sometimes you just want to quickly peek inside a file. That's where the cat command comes in handy. Just type cat and the file name to display the text file's content right in the terminal. If you want to edit a file directly in the terminal, just type nano and file name. It opens a file inside the terminal window, letting you make changes. Once you're done editing, press Ctrl X to exit. It will ask you if you want to save your changes. Press Y for yes. And then hit enter to confirm. It's a great way to make quick edits without leaving the command line. The copy command lets you copy files or folders from one place to another. To copy folders, including the content, use the -r flag. This copies the entire folder and its contents. Be careful when copying files over existing ones, as copy will overwrite them without warning. The move command is your go-to tool for moving files and folders around in the terminal, and it can also rename them. Type in move and the source path, followed by the destination path. If you specify a new file name instead of an existing folder, the file will be renamed. For example, move oldname.txt, newname.txt. This changes the file name from oldname.txt to newname.txt in the same folder. And here comes a pro tip. If you want to move multiple files at once, you can list them all before the destination folder. For example, move followed by file1.txt, file2.txt, followed by the destination folder. Here's a quick way to run multiple commands in one line to save time. Use $& to run the next command only if the previous one succeeded. For example, make directory my project, $& and change directory my project. This creates a folder and then moves inside it. You can also redirect output. For instance, list greater filelist.txt. This saves the list of files into a text file instead of showing it on screen. These tricks help you work smarter, not harder. The terminal has built-in manuals called man pages that explain every command and its options. Just type man followed by the command like man and ls. Use the arrow keys to scroll and press Q to quit the manual. It's like having a built-in cheat sheet for every command. You can launch many applications directly from the terminal. Just use the open command followed by the application name. Open -a and quotation mark application name. You can also open the current folder in Finder with open, space and dot. You can quickly open Visual Studio Code right from your terminal, which is a huge time saver when working on projects. Step 1. Open VS Code. Step 2. Open the command palette. On Mac, press Command-Shift-P. Then type and select shell command install code command in path. This adds the code command to your system's path, so your terminal can find it. Step number 4. Restart your terminal window. And step 5. Test by typing code. You can also open the current folder in Visual Studio Code with code, space, dot. If everything worked, VS Code should open your current folder. Pipelining is a powerful feature in the terminal that lets you connect commands together so the output of one command becomes the input of the next. ls and -l lists files in long format. The pipeline sends that list to the next command. With grep .txt, this filters and shows only files that have .txt in their names. Pipelines are great for filtering, transforming or summarizing data right in the terminal. PBCOPY or pasteboard copy is a handy Mac command that copies the output of any command directly into your clipboard, so you can paste it anywhere like normal text. You can use ls, the pipeline, and PBCOPY. This copies the list of files from ls into your clipboard. Now you can just press Command V to paste it into a document, email or chat. You can also copy the contents of a file. Use cat pipeline PBCOPY. It saves you time by avoiding manual copy pasting from the terminal window. You can use PBPaste vice versa to paste the content from the clipboard to the terminal. I like drinking coffee, and sometimes you want your Mac to stay awake during long tasks like running a script or rendering some files without going to sleep or dimming the screen. The CAFFEINATE command prevents your Mac from sleeping while it runs. Just use CAFFEINATE. This keeps your Mac awake indefinitely until you stop the command. Just press Ctrl and C. You can use the parameter -t followed by the seconds to set the number of seconds and -d to prevent the display from sleeping. CAFFEINATE is a great way to avoid interruptions during important long-running tasks. SUDO stands for Super User Do, and it lets you run commands with elevated permissions, basically as a system administrator. Now I'll share some time-saving tricks every beginner should know. Use Tab to autocomplete file and folder names to save typing. Use the up and down arrow so you can scroll through your command history to reuse past commands. Use Ctrl and C to cancel the current running command or process. You can use Clear or Ctrl L to clear the terminal screen. Use Ctrl A to move the cursor to the beginning of the current command line. And use Ctrl E to move the cursor to the end of the current command line. You can use Ctrl and U to delete everything from the cursor to the beginning of the line. And Ctrl K to delete everything from the cursor to the end of the line. Use 2 exclamation marks to repeat the last command you typed. And history shows a list of recent commands you've entered. With pushd and popd, you can jump between different repositories. Pushd saves the current repository and changes to a new one. And popd brings you back to the old repository. This is very handy to switch between 2 repositories. And -v shows you the stack of your repository sorted by different indexes. And that's a wrap on this beginner's guide on the macOS terminal. By now you've learned how to confidently navigate your Mac's file system, manage files and folders, and even customize your terminal. You can now set it up with Git and GitHub to be ready to track your projects and collaborate like a pro. The terminal might seem intimidating at first, but it's one of the most powerful tools you'll ever use to supercharge your productivity and coding workflow. The more you practice, the easier it gets. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more easy to follow tutorials on Mac coding and tips for developers. And drop a comment below telling me what part you want to dive deeper into.